Guys, welcome back to data engineering. In the last video, we looked at histograms, and in this video, we're going to look at how to add a column to the histogram to tell you which bin number the data point refers to, right? So here we have the column of data, we have the histogram here, which refers to the column of data, but now we want a column that tells you exactly which bin that particular data point refers to. Okay, so the way that's done is that the bin actually looks at the data point and looks up another table. So we need to create that table. So here for the table, first we set the number of bins that we want, right? Which we can then change later. Like if I put 30, right, it changes the picture. Okay, so let's say we set it to 20. Then we have a column here that's basically 1 all the way to the increments all the way to the number of bins, right? And then for the percentiles, it's just 1 over the number of bins, and so it increases by 5% all the way to starting from 0 all the way to and just before 1, so 0.95, right? That's 20 bins. So this is looking at the lower edge. You know, if you're looking at the 95th percentile, that's the lowest edge of the last bin, right? And that number corresponds to this 12.86 here. So what is the bin's lower edge for each of these? You need to use the function percentile.inc here, right? You pull in the column of data, and the second parameter is the percentile. So it takes in the data, it looks for the value at which that sits on the 5th percentile, right? And it returns the value 3.78 here. Right? So once you've done that, right, you can you have this table here, and then in next to the data, you can put down the bin number by looking up using an offset match, right? So you're going to offset the bin number here, and it's going to try to match this particular data point here, right, 3.89, by looking up this lower column of lower bin edges, right? But the match type, we're going to set it to true, to 1, so that it returns the closest value. So let's look at 3.89. It returns bin number 2 because 3.89 doesn't meet the lower edge of bin 3, which is 4.19, right? But it exceeds the lower edge of bin 2, which is 3.78. So obviously it has to sit in bin 2, right? And so therefore it returns bin 2. Okay, yeah, that's it.